It's a huge difference. Okay, fine. Now, let's see. So what is a force? A force is a cause that produces acceleration in the body on which it acts. Now, why did we say it produces acceleration? Because, so we know that what is acceleration? Acceleration is, if you remember, we have taken that to be v minus u by t. If there is a change in velocity, then there is an acceleration. So force always, what does it do? It produces acceleration. F produces acceleration. Fine? This is clear? Now, let's see the various things that we have to see. When we talk about force, there are a few types of forces. Now, one thing that we have to be very sure is, if force is there, there would be acceleration. If force is not there, there wouldn't be acceleration. Now, what do we mean by that? Now, let's look at the various types of forces to understand that. That the example that we have taken while we are pushing a wall and when two people were pushing the same block, that will come now. The first thing that we talk about is balanced forces. Now, what are balanced forces?
Equal.
Any idea what are balanced forces?
Equal amount of forces, I guess.
Yes, equal
Yeah,
amount
where
of
the
forces.
force is balanced on both sides.
When two or more forces are acting on a body and the net force acting on the body is 0, then we say forces are balanced. I hope that's clear. So on condition like, you can see a situation something like this. You can see that there are people, pulling it from this side and this side. Are they applying force? They're applying force, and let's assume that they're not moving. Then what is the situation? The situation is balanced. Now, when the forces are balanced, what is the net force acting? Can I say net force is 0? So when the forces are balanced, what is the net force? Net force is always 0. Got it? Now, can you give me an example? Now, this question, like there is a wall. And what is that? There is a block here and you're applying a force F on this wall. Now, is this situation a situation of balanced force or unbalanced force?
Balanced.
So this situation is a situation of balanced force, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So unbalanced. So we'll discuss about unbalanced force. Anything else? Can you give me examples of any other example of a balanced force? Any other example of a balanced force?
One car pushing another car and they both are the exact same model without any modifications.
Okay. Anything else? So we're talking about cars. Anything else which we see in day-to-day life? Wrestling we don't see in day-to-day life unless and until you wrestle with your siblings. Yes. Anything else that you see in day-to-day life?
Pulling a chair.
Pulling a chair. Okay. Pulling a chair and the chair is not moving. That's what you want to say, Akshay? Anything else? Any other example of balanced force? Yeah. Any other example of balanced force? Anyone? Let me check. Here, balanced push-ups. Okay, push-ups. When you're pushing up, you're moving, right? Yeah, Kavya, you say push-ups.
Yes,
You're moving. So if the forces are balanced, what will happen? You can't go up and come down.
Sir,
Water bucket.
when we're on a seesaw.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
When we're on a seesaw.
When we are on a seesaw. Okay, so nowadays you're not allowed to go to a seesaw. So what is happening there? Is the force balanced or unbalanced?
It is unbalanced, I think. It's
unbalanced because the beam goes up and down constantly.
It is unbalanced because the beam goes up and down constantly. Okay, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Yes.
It can be balanced as long as both the people on each side of the beams are the exact same weight and the exact same level of fitness.
So if both of them are having same mass or same weight and are sitting at the same distance, then it can be balanced. Otherwise, it can be unbalanced. So I cannot take seesaw to be an example of balanced force always, right? It comes with some conditions. Any other example of balanced forces?
Sir,
Anything that comes from when we are standing, that's something good. Rishit, yes. When we are standing, what is happening? We are pushing the ground down and the ground is pushing up and we are not moving. When we are sitting,
Yes.
right? When you're sitting, you're pushing the chair down if you're sitting on the chair, or you're pushing the bed down if you're sitting on the bed is pushing you with equal force. So what is that? Balance force. So what do we conclude from that? So balance force, what does that happen? The net force is 0. So balance force implies
No motion.
no acceleration. I'll say acceleration is 0. What does balance force imply? Balance force implies acceleration is 0. Acceleration 0 means, what does it mean? No
No
change in
motion.
velocity. No change in velocity. So if it is at rest, it will continue to be at rest. If it is moving with constant velocity, it will continue to move with constant velocity. I hope this is clear. So apart from the definition, we are not bothered about anything else about balanced forces in this chapter, because the net cause or net effect of balance force is nothing. There is no net effect of balance force on anything. You're standing, there is no effect on, of the balance force. You're pushing a block on a wall, unless and until the block is very fragile, there is no effect on it, right? So we are only going to talk about unbalanced forces. Now what are unbalanced forces in that case?
But
Here comes the
acceleration is
seesaw.
formed.
Yes, here comes your seesaw. What is happening? You can see that one side, if there are two unequal, what is happening? There is the forces are not balanced. Of course, when they're equal, the forces are balanced. So what do you mean by unbalanced force? If there are more than one forces acting on it, such that if I have a block here, I have force F1 acting here, let's say F2 acting here, and F1 not equal to F2, then what is happening? Then there is a net force acting on it. So situations of unbalanced forces, can you give me examples of unbalanced forces? Can you give me an example of unbalanced force?
Pushing objects or pulling.
Yeah, you're pushing an
The
object and the
seesaw.
object is moving. That seesaw in this particular
Writing with different
balance from
amount of forces. Like when you want to write a little darker, you need to apply a little more force, right? So we can we tell it is
okay.
balanced force?
Let's see, writing happens due to friction. Now, how does it happen due to friction?
No, when you
When you're
apply
writing,
more force, the shade gets darker, right? If you are writing with a pencil.
yeah, see,
So is that
okay,
a
Akshat gave us a wonderful example. Yes, Akshat, let me ask this question to everyone. So, writing with a pencil or a pen, is it an example of balanced force or unbalanced force? Writing with a pen or a pencil?
Unbalanced.
Yeah, Jay is smart enough. He is taking 1%, the same figure as an example and giving. Okay, writing is unbalanced. So what is the net? Why it is unbalanced? Because your pencil is moving, right? But if you look at pressing it on the paper, then it is
Then it's
balanced because your
unbalanced.
pencil.
Then it's balanced. Because there's no
If you are
force.
moving
Total force.
horizontal surface, if you are pushing it, if you look at the pressure that you're applying on the book, then it is what? And it is balanced. Got it? I hope that's clear, all of you.
Yes.
So when
Yes, sir.
unbalanced forces are there, I can say F net is not equal to 0. If F net is not equal to 0, what does it mean? Acceleration is not equal to 0. What does that mean? Velocity of the body changes. I hope it is clear. So whenever there are unbalanced forces, what will happen? There would be a change in velocity of the body. I hope that's clear. Now, of course, then, all these things that we have considered now regarding forces, they were formulated into 3 laws of motion. We call them Newton's laws of motion. Naisha, I got you. If you're actually writing there is a change in velocity, so it is unbalanced. That's why it is unbalanced along horizontal surface. But unless and until you press so hard that the book tears off, in that direction it is balanced, right? It doesn't go inside it. While erasing also it is unbalanced. Jay is very good at taking examples from others and making small modifications to that, right? Yeah, that's a smart one there. I hope it is clear. So what all things we have studied about about the force, whatever things we have discussed about force till now, they were together kept as Newton's laws. And we call them as Newton's laws of motion. Newton say